The American dream is the belief that through hard work and setting goals, anything is possible. A native of Puerto Rico, Angel Cordero Jr. achieved that dream through horse racing with induction into the National Museum of Racing's Hall of Fame in 1988. However, the road to Saratoga was not an easy one.
I born in the stable area. My house used to be behind the stable area. My father used to train. Both of my grandfather trained and rode horses, so I'm like a horse, I'm bred to be at the racetrack. Plus my first school that I went, it was right across from the stable area, so I will look at the horses all day from school and watching my father working with them, and I'm having it right next to me. It was like a pet to me. I used to go downstairs and play with them. When I first started going to high school, I started galloping horses without my mother. No, she didn't know that I was doing that. But I had to promise to my father that I would finish school and I will go to college, and then he will let me ride.
But after 7 months, the boy who was bred to ride could not stay away any longer.
My mind was already on racing all the time. I thought I was spending the money for nothing because I wasn't really interested in doing anything else except riding. So I had to quit going to school just to continue riding.
The move paid off, and Angel found success in Puerto Rico as a bug boy, including 27 wins on Crisol and 33 victories aboard Cardiolo.
I started riding in 1960, and I rode in Puerto Rico 1960, 61, 62, and then 1963 I came to the United States for the first time. My experience coming to the United States was very hard, to be honest to you. I came in March, which is still a little cold yet. And you know, Puerto Rico is a very warm weather country, and we don't wear no heavy clothes. So when I first got here to the United States, it was cold. I was staying with one of my sisters in Manhattan. So I had to get up at 4 o'clock to catch a train to be able to get to Belmont at 6. I could speak English at all. Every time I got on the subway, I was lost. And I was working horses for nothing, so I wasn't making any money. And it was a time when, you know, I didn't need, to be honest to you, unless I came back home. And I stayed in the jockey's room most of the time to the last race, hoping for somebody to take off a horse so I can pick up a mount. So my goal always was go to Puerto Rico and make money and come back the next year. So I did it in 1963, 1964, and 1965.
Persistence and hard work paid off. Working 17, 18 horses a morning led to mounts in the afternoon. At the end of the 1966 meet, Cordero began to make inroads. And in 1967, he won 277 races in New York, a new record.
My attitude on the track was always tough for the simple reason that I didn't have it easy since the beginning. I was thrown out of my country. I got suspended for cursing at the starter. I wanted to prove a point. First of all, everybody in my country said that I would never be as good as my family. And second of all, I had to prove a point to myself that I wanted to be good and be recognized in my country as a good rider, not as a guy that had to leave because I was suspended.
Cordero made his point, racking up wins, but also a reputation for rough riding.
He was very aggressive, and he kind of never knew what he was going to do. He was a great tactician. He knew what he wanted to do when the race was going on, and I think sometimes before he went into the gate, he had them a little bit psyched out before they ever went in there.
He would look for you, he would tie you, he'd make you hesitate. He didn't care, he didn't care about showing that he was looking for you, that you the horse to beat, I'm gonna get you beat.
He brought something out in everybody. He stepped things up to a new notch and altered the way the game was played. You draw a line in the sand, and if you looked away, Angel raced it and drew a new one, and you could start from that one then,
He was also a polarizing subject for the public.
New York fans in the 80s and 90s, I think the most difficult fans of any sport. They know they're horse racing for one thing, and they're not afraid to express themselves.
What they say, that the person that they love and hate. I was the person that the public will yell at before the race, will scream at me, and will cheer for me when I win.
There was a saying, not only with the fans, but with trainers. You were doomed if you had him and doomed if you didn't have him. I mean, the fans especially, a love-hate relationship, but the trainers, They felt like they were safer having Angel on their horse's back than competing against him, and it was an intimidation factor, and it was well known. But then if you had Angel, you had to worry about him getting disqualified. Then you had to sweat out inquiries.
I was the one that they hate and the one that they love the most, but I know one thing, that if they got $2 left, they will bet on my horse. And that made me feel good.
And the best judge of his talent? His peers voted him the George Wolfe Memorial Jockey Award winner in 1972. In 1974, Cordero set out to silence his critics in the Kentucky Derby aboard Cannonade, with a little help from his father.
I dreamed the night before that I won. It was weird because my father always said, I wanted to see you win the Derby, and he died in 73. So in 74, the night before the Derby, I was dreaming, and my father came to me and said, we're making a movie, and you're gonna be the good guy. Everybody's gonna open the rail for you, and you're gonna stay in the rail, and you're gonna win. There was 23 horses. That was the biggest field they ever have. In the race, I drew number 2 post, and I was way back. And all the way going to the first 10, I could hear the voice in my mind, stay on the rail, stay on the rail. I stayed there. I got through about 19 horses. The best treat that I ever have in my 34, 35 years of riding. When I got to about the 3/8 pole, I could see now. And I was a long way before the wire, and I knew it in my heart. I said, now I started to believe on the dream. I said, I can't miss. And it was the greatest happiness. It's so hard to explain a feeling of how do you feel about winning a race. I mean, winning the Kentucky Derby to me was like my life was complete.
Just 2 years later, Angel returned to Louisville and captured the Run for the Roses aboard Bold Forbes, trained by good friend Laz Barrera. They followed up that victory with another classic win in the Belmont Stakes. And he was in the irons for a third Derby triumph when Spend a Buck drew away from the field in 1985. In 1978, his ride aboard Dr. Patches against Seattle Slew earned him the mount on the Triple Crown winner.
Dr. Patches on the outside, Seattle Slew on the rail, those two to the wire.
And he rose to the occasion with a convincing win over another Triple Crown winner affirmed in the Marlboro Cup.